I think that sometimes, especially when you're 19 or 20, you don't understand the benefit of cross-pollination when it comes to classes. I knew that I wanted to write. I actually thought I would be a National Geographic reporter. That was my end game. So I would find myself asking, like, why am I learning natural history? You know, why am I taking science classes when what I want to do is write, is be a journalist or a novelist? The thing that I have come to realize is there is no part of the world that is not God-haunted, as Flannery O'Connor says, which means that there isn't any part of the world that I shouldn't be interested in some way. At the time, maybe I didn't recognize why I should learn some of these things, but now I'm realizing in order to be not just a better writer, but a better author, a better person, I want to be well-rounded. I want to have studied the classics, I want to have studied languages and natural history and not just be limited to one field of study.
My name is Daniel Fukushan.
Christine Cohen.
Mike Church.
Catherine Church.
Valerie Abraham.
I graduated in 2010.
2007.
2009.
2015.
2009.
I was fairly aware, because I had to make that decision to not go to business school and that I wanted this education, that this was preparing me and giving me the tools that I needed to be an entrepreneur, to learn things. And I have watched a lot of New St. Andrews students who are students or then graduated, and I don't think they realize what they have. You have the education that just about every United States president, I think Donald Trump is maybe the only exception, has had. New St. Andrews students, what I wish more knew today as they are current students, what they need to hear, those soft skills, those things that they're practicing, translate in a way that gives them a true advantage over their public school counterpart.
For me, one of the things that I didn't realize at the time, and certainly not going into NSA, was almost what we talked about earlier of that Christian culture and the Christian community, how important that was. I mean, I didn't see that. That was not on my radar when coming to NSA. It was more like, okay, this is college, this is an education. And even while being here, I think it's easy to you're just going through the motions and you're doing the college thing, but then realizing now like what a tremendous blessing that was.
One of the things I knew at the time was U of I had a really great rec center and NSA did not have the rec center, you know, and there's elements that way where you're like, wow, it's so flashy. You know, they have these great extra things to do and not realizing that stuff doesn't matter in one sense. It's great, there's nothing wrong with it, it's fun, but to have that richness, there are so many events that happen that first few weeks of college, you know, especially as a freshman. They bring you along, and it's also with good food and fellowship and hard work and nonstop of all of it, and you're supposed to participate in a big spectrum of it. You're not just say, go study, you know, it's like, no, you should come to this freshman event, you know, where we're welcoming you. It's amazing how busy you can be in a little town.
I think before NSA, I wanted to go to this college because I loved medieval literature, things like that. I was thinking of it more in terms of the things that I enjoyed almost as hobbies, you know, reading good books. But since then, it's been interesting to see how that kind of historically integrated education, I think, has prepared me for the rest of life, where I don't always have time to do as much reading as I would like. It's not necessarily about those books that I was reading at NSA, but about taking those principles of evaluating everything in light of the great conversation, starting with the Bible, the church fathers, the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, the early moderns, and our own contemporary society, bringing those ideas basically into dialogue and then holding them up to the truth of Scripture.